Hello, everyone. It's me, Dr. Hassaan Tohid, once again live with a wonderful session, with a weekly wonderful session on research. And we will talk about research, and we will make sure that you enjoy this session and learn something that you have not learned before. And I know, I mean, this is not possible always that you haven't learned something that I'm teaching you, because you may have seen my lectures before, or you may have been following me before, or you have maybe heard about these things or read these things before. So that is also possible. Okay, so let's talk about today's session. Today's session is four steps, four steps of traditional review. Four steps. That's what we will talk about. And whoever is here, please do type. Okay, thank you, Priya, thank you, and thanks a lot for joining us. And everyone who else is here watching me, that's wonderful. I'm glad everyone is already here. And let's begin. And I think everyone is all set, and we will begin. And I have a board with me today, and I want to make sure that I teach you those things that you have not learned before. At least one or two things that you haven't learned before. Okay, so but I want to make this session very interesting, and I want to make this session very, very powerful and very fruitful. I don't want anyone's time to be wasted, and my time as well. I want to make sure that when I am here live, at the end of the session, make you a better researcher, a better student, and even a better person than you were before. You all are amazing people, but we all have room for improvement. We all are amazing scientists, but we all still have room for improvement. Okay, and let's begin. I think everyone has the link now, and everyone is ready, and I'm still seeing people are joining. Okay, so we are all set. But where is the motivation, guys? Type and comment. Where is the motivation? Where is the energy? I can't see the energy today. Where is the energy? Hi, Rose. Hi, Abdul. Hi, Nitin. Where is the energy, guys? I don't see the energy. This is not you guys. Are Yes? Okay, very good, Nitin. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. This is what was talking about. This is I was talking about. I want to make sure that everyone is energetic. Okay. And we all have the link, right? I, of course, have the link, but you all have the link. Okay, very good. Hi, Gokul. Hi, Olive. Thank you. Congratulations on enrolling and coming and joining this session. That's wonderful. And all the new admissions, first of all, I would like to welcome you all, and I welcome you to the training, and congratulations on enrolling. And every new admission, I want all of you to do one thing. Make sure you create an account on the website. You create an account on the website, cibnp.com. Once you create an account on the website, and before the live classes begin, if you are already enrolled student, before the live classes begin, I want to make sure I give you the access to the course material. There will be the access of the course material. You will study besides your live classes and my live sessions, and you will have your mentors live classes on weekends. You will have my classes on weekdays. Today it was supposed to be yesterday, but as I told you yesterday, I could not make it yesterday, so I'm doing it right now. And issues are resolved finally. And the thing is that you will also have live student discussion sessions if you are co-authoring with each other, and you also will have live sessions. I'm starting another series of live sessions. I'm starting another series of live sessions, and that series will be for those students who requested the classes to be done on weekdays. So I will be repeating whatever you learned during the weekend for these 8 weeks. But this is just a unique situation, and I will not be able to do that again and again. But I'm doing it just on special request. So I will invite all of you, and those will be Zoom sessions. I will invite all of you, and I think we will do that on Friday, or we can do that tomorrow. I'll see my schedule and I'll announce. Okay, and we will walk you through all the steps of writing, whether it's a traditional review, whether it's a systematic review, or whether it's a scoping review. I hope everyone remembers what scoping review is, and everyone remembers what we learned last week. But the new admissions who joined this week, they don't know what we discussed last week. And so I will send you the video of the last week so that you can watch it and you understand the basic concept. Today we are talking about the today we're talking about the 4 steps of traditional review writing. If you understand these 4 steps, traditional review writing will become very easy for you. And by the way, the very good thing is systematic review steps are not too different as well. We'll talk about the systematic review as well, but not today. In another session, we will do that. We will make sure during this training you learn traditional review writing, you learn systematic review, you learn scoping review, and you complete your project, and you can choose any of those study designs. You can choose a traditional review, you can choose a systematic review, or you can choose scoping review and complete your paper and become published author. Hi, Jasmine. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations on joining. Manisha, thank you. Thank you. And Terry, thank you. Thanks a lot. So today we are talking about, so I just discussed this with all the students, new admissions. You want to make sure you create an account on the website, and I will send you some material how to study for this course. You follow it and you will be all set. I had to go because I lost the light. I lost the electricity. And now the camera will take some time to focus. Hello? Okay, I'm back. Four steps. We're talking about 4 steps. Of a traditional review. We talked about all 3 kinds of reviews last week: traditional reviews, scoping reviews, and the systematic reviews, and also meta-analysis. We talked about that as well. Now, the thing is that traditional review and literature review are the same thing. Same thing. Traditional review and literature review are the same thing. So you got to remember this. So what are the 4 steps? What are the 4 steps of writing a traditional review? All the new admissions and all the old admission, I would like you all to take notes so that you become proficient and you will enjoy this process, because you will notice that it is easier than you think. Research writing, regardless of the design, is easier than you think. The only thing is that you did not get proper guidance before. If you can become a doctor, if you can pass your medical school examination, if you can pass USMLE, then research writing is a piece of cake. Research writing is way easier than USMLEs. Research writing is way easier than USMLEs. Research writing is way easier than your medical school, and it is even easier than going into medical school. So first of all, remove this from your mind that it is difficult. Now, our students who were 17-year-old, yes, 17-year-old students, they completed their papers and they wrote their papers very, very well, better than majority of the doctors. Now, that's a big statement. Better than majority of the doctors, our 17-year-old students completed their papers and their papers were better than majority of the doctors. Why does that happen? Why does that happen? The thing is that they are in touch with their homework. They have been doing their homework every day. They have been in touch with writing, and they are motivated. But you guys, after 5 years, 6 years or 7 years of medical school, depending upon your country, you lose the touch of writing essays. You lose the touch of doing homework. So that's why many of you find it difficult. So just remember, you have done it before. Just change the mindset. Remember, you have done it before. It's not something you are doing for the first time. You all have done this before. You just have to rewire your brain and go into your past and think about, you have done this before. This is what we are talking about today. And traditional review or literature review is the same thing. And these 4 steps, if you follow it, you will be able to write your paper really well. So the first thing first is, we discussed that last week. Three W's and an H. Step one. Step one. Step one. Three W's and an H. You should know what you are doing. What are you actually doing? You are writing a literature review. Forget about scoping review for now or systematic review for now. We'll discuss all of those gradually. At the end of the training, you will be proficient in all 3 of those. So forget about them for now. We're talking about literature review. And literature review is also known as traditional review. And it is also known as narrative review. So traditional review has 3 names. Literature review, systematic, no, not systematic review. Okay, again. Literature review has 3 names. Traditional review, literature review, and narrative review. Do you want me to repeat again? Literature review has 3 names. Traditional review, literature review, narrative review. So don't ever get confused at why there are different names. And somebody says that, can you write a narrative review? And you say, no, I don't. No, you don't say that, because you do know how to do it. The rules are the same. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? For whom are you doing it? We discussed that. So you know you are writing a traditional review or a literature review. Same thing. You are doing it to serve people. I discussed that last week and I'll discuss that again. Don't just work for selfish reasons to get into residency match. Think of serving, think of your paper as a mode of service to mankind and provide the best value you can in your paper. If you do that, the results that you are looking for, like residency, like fellowship, will run after you. Success will run after you. Every goal will be achieved, but first thing first is service. We tend to think that when we will become rich, we will become successful, we will become accomplished doctors, then we will serve mankind. No, the world does not work this way. The world has its own rule. Service comes first, success comes after. So make sure you serve with your paper. You serve. Your paper should be a wonderful piece of information that can help the clinicians that can help the patients, help the students, help the mankind in general. And whom are you writing it for? Your readers. The main person is your reader. So you can focus on any of those, whether your paper is mainly focused on the doctors, or mainly focused on the first year students, or mainly focused on the final year students, or mainly focused on new doctors, new graduate doctors, or just residents, or female patients, or male patients, or children, or teens, the teenagers, the adolescents. So if you exactly define your topic and who you are writing it for, you will produce wonderful results, considering that you are serving, your paper is serving. If your paper is not serving, you will not be able to produce wonderful paper. Your intentions do matter. Subconsciously, you will produce better results. So that's very important. Now, how do you do it? This will be your plan. You got a plan. Where is your plan? You gotta write it down. You have to have a written plan of your paper that I will start today and my deadline is 7 weeks. I'll complete my paper in 7 weeks. And I am asking all of you who have just enrolled or who enrolled before as well, that please set a 7-week deadline. You all can complete your paper in 7 weeks. There is a possibility, not a possibility, it's 100% if you follow exactly what I'm teaching you to do, if you follow exactly what I'm telling you to do. So just remember, it is possible and you can do it. Other people have done it, so can you. People who have done it were not smarter than you guys. They were medical students, doctors, or young doctors, even 17-year-old. If they can do it, you can do it. Nobody's smarter than you. You all are equal. We all have our own strengths. Some people are good at data collection. Some people are good at formulating it in writing. Some people are good at both. Some people are just good at thinking. So we all have our own strengths and weaknesses. So collectively, we all become equal. So don't give me an excuse that I was not good at writing, because I don't want you to be good at writing right now. Remember, just write it down. Even if you can write the paper down in your own language. Write the paper down in your own language. If you have problem with English, we will translate it later. How do you think many scientists who don't speak English do that? This is exactly how they do it. They write it in their own language, then they translate it with Google Translator, and then they send it for professional editing. So don't worry about it. It's 21st century. You don't have to worry about English skills. So don't think that, oh, I studied in my country in a non-English medium school. So what do I do? Write the paper in your own language and then translate it through Google Translator, and then send it for professional editing. So everyone can write papers in English language. English is just a language. English is not the medium of intelligence. This is the thing you all need to understand. English is the medium of language. It's not the medium of intelligence. In many countries, people perceive a person who speaks English as an educated person. That's not always true. It is impossible to be true. A person in the US who never went to school, a person who had never been to school, spent all of his life in prison, he will be fluent in English. His English will be better than a master's in English from a Middle Eastern country or India or Pakistan. I can bet on that, because he's a native speaker. He's a native speaker. So English is not the medium of intelligence. English is the medium of communication. So just keep it where it is. Improve it. Of course, you do need to improve it for your residency interviews. But what I'm talking about right now is if you don't know how to write English, don't worry about it. Write the paper in your own language and then translate it. That's fine. You will collect data in English and you can translate it. We have translating availability everywhere now online for free. So you don't have an excuse left. So you should have a plan, and the plan will come with a deadline. Plan will come with a daily schedule. How many hours? Can you set up 2 to 3 hours each week? From 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Can you set a time like this? Maybe 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Maybe 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Maybe 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Can you set some time? Or right after your class, you say, okay, my momentum is ready right now because I was taking a class. I'm in my full momentum and in full tone. I should continue and work on my paper. I should not leave this seat. Can you do that? If you do that, you can write a paper. So this is very important. All of you, your plan of writing should be you decide a particular room to write. If you can go to library, if libraries are open, COVID is under control in your area, and you are vaccinated, then go to a library because you need a quiet place. If you don't have library, then you find a room in your home, a quiet room in your home where you write your paper. You find a particular desk. You find a particular desk because you are anchoring. You are anchoring in your brain. You know what is anchoring? Like anyone remembers that experiment, the dog and the bell? So the scientist Pavlov, right? Pavlov was his name. He had this bell, and he used to ring this bell. And when he used to ring this bell, he used to feed these dogs some food. So the dogs, they started to drool. They got their saliva ready every time they were fed. Now, he kept doing it for so many days, and one day he did not feed them. Yes, Pavlov, dog alarm ringing. So what he did was he conditioned the mind, he conditioned the brain of the dogs. He anchored the bell sound with the salivation, or you want to call it salivation, okay? So they had the saliva, and the saliva was all set, and they were drooling, although there was no food. So the same thing should come in your mind. You should anchor the room and the desk with your research writing, that whenever you see that desk, you think about your paper and you want to write your paper. Whenever you sit on that desk, you now know that what you have to do, automatically you start writing on your paper, because on that desk you will have your laptop, whatever computer or iPad you have. I highly recommend get a laptop to write a paper, and a particular chair. And if you have no facility to go to a library, and if because of COVID lockdown in the area where you are right now, you cannot go to library, then sit in your home and find the quietest room in your home. Now, many people complain that I don't have a quiet family. I don't have a quiet family. How do I do it? This is an excuse. You just shut the door off. If you have a fan, pedestal fan, put it at the door, turn it on at the highest volume. With that buzzing sound, you will not be able to hear what is going outside. It will muffle the sound that is coming from outside to inside. So I'm telling you, there are ways how you can find quiet place. And then on top of that, you use earplugs. And shut this thing off. When you're working on your paper, shut this thing off. If you don't want to shut this off, just put it on silent. For me, it's most of the time, 99%, 99.9% of the time, it's on silent. And if I'm working, this is away from me in a separate room, deliberately. I don't want to miss any messages of the students. I don't want to miss any calls. So I know after I'm done, I will go and look at my phone after 2-3 hours of block that I have given to particular task. Now I'll go to my cell phone. I'll see, okay, how many missed calls and how many text messages. Okay, that's it. Now I will sit, and now my new task will be now reply to all of them. So this is how you plan your paper writing. If you are a morning person, do it in morning. If you are an evening person, write your paper in the evening. If you are a night person, do it at night, but whatever is the best time, use that time to write your paper. Follow the steps and do the mistakes. I want you to make mistakes. Your first paper will have plenty of mistakes. If you see my first paper, you will be really astonished how bad of a writer I was. So there is no shame. You are here to learn, and we are learning. And even after writing these many papers that I have, do you think and after teaching thousands of students, do you think I am know-it-all? I'm a know-it-all person, that I know everything and I'm the best writer in the world? I don't think so. I'm still learning, still learning, still learning. And the more I learn, I realize how much I have to learn, how ignorant I am. This is what learning does to you, makes you humble. You realize your true self, how ignorant you are, how much of uneducated you are. So keep learning, keep growing, and you should be just better than yesterday. That's it. Every day you should be better than yesterday. If you are not better than yesterday, then you are wasting your time and wasting your life. So everyone is clear about how to plan and work on the paper. So whatever you learn during the live classes, in the lectures, you take notes. And when you take notes, you have that journal or book with you, and you open it in front of you, and you have the computer with you, and you have the lecture notes, ebooks, exercise book on your account. You download them and you print them out ideally and put them on site, so you have everything right next to you. And now, before starting, one more thing I want all of you to do: print a traditional review related to your topic that you are working on. Yes. Print a traditional review related to your topic that you are working on, and put it on the site while writing your paper. You need a template. You need a template. Any successful author's paper that has been published, you need that template. You will use that template for your paper. Simple. You need that template for your paper. Learning from other people's papers is the smartest thing you can do. This was step one. Now step two. And you notice that each step is divided into mini steps. So make sure you know everything. You know all the steps. Now, what is the step two? Create a Word document. And the screen has become very blurry. You know, whenever I go to the board, the camera doesn't detect, because I'm using this Logitech camera. So this has this has not been designed for the board writing, I guess. So I will have to wait until my face becomes clear and clear and clear. So I want all of you, let's continue, just keep listening to me. As long as you guys can hear me, that's fine. Eventually the picture will be fine and clear. So what I want all of you to do is create a Word document. A Word document, and the Word document, what do you do with that Word document? Call it as my article. Call it as my article. On this paper, on this sheet, you will write your paper. This is your main sheet. This is your, you know, if you remember when you were young, you used to study mathematics. So you used to have a rough column on the side where you used to you do all the calculations, a rough column and the fair column. So this is your fair page. This is your fair page, Word document, and you call it as my article. My article. My article. This is where you will write your paper. On this my article, you bring your outline. Now, what is an outline? Outline is the actual plan of your paper. So your my article page will have the outline. So what is your outline? The parts of your paper. So these are the parts of a paper: abstract, introduction, method, results, discussion, conclusion, and references. 7 headings. This will be your basic outline. This is your basic outline. So if you know your headings, you are almost there. You're like 33 or maybe 40% done if you just know your headings. Just decide your headings, and these will be your headings. These are your major headings, then your subheadings. We'll talk about the subheadings later. Don't worry about it. But what I'm saying is just start writing. Even if you have not written anything, just make mistakes. If you cannot write it in English, then write in your own language. We will fix it later. There is no shame in writing in any language. Every language is beautiful. Every language is wonderful. And we will later translate it in English because you need it in English language because you're applying for US residency or UK training. Any one of you, if you are applying for UK training, or Australia or Canada, so you guys are actually applying for English-speaking countries. So abstract, introduction, method, results, discussion, conclusion, and references. So how do you remember this sequence? IMRAD format. IMRAD. IMRAD. I for introduction, M for method, R for results, A is nothing, A is just and D for discussion. And discussion and conclusion are usually the same part, but some people divide into 2. So conclusion as a separate, some people don't, so it doesn't matter. So IMRAD format: introduction, method, results, and discussion. You will have these sections, right? Now, for traditional review or literature review, method and results section are optional. So that's a great relieving news. That's a good news. You have lesser sections to focus on. So your main paper is just comprised of introduction and discussion and conclusion. So you just have 3 headings. Can't you write 3 headings? Can't you do that? All of you can do it. Write a good chunk of introduction, 1 page of introduction, 3-4 pages of discussion, 1 paragraph of conclusion. You are all set. You don't need results and method section in a literature review, a traditional review, narrative review. But you do need method and results section in a systematic review or meta-analysis. Is everyone listening to me? You need method and results section in a systematic review. It's a must requirement, and meta-analysis. But what about the traditional review, narrative review? Traditional review, narrative review. You don't need it. You don't need it. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. So no method and results section. No method and results section in this, in a traditional review, literature review, narrative review. But what if I add it? Will I be in any trouble? No, it's optional. If you add it, your paper will look pretty, will look wonderful. If you don't add it, nothing will happen. Paper will still be published. So does adding method and result, there's a question now. Nitin has a question. Does adding methods and results to literature review make it a better one? Does it impact your CV? Not necessarily. It may look good, sometimes it may not look good, or doesn't matter. Both papers can be very powerful with method and results, without method and results. So see if you want to do it or you don't want to do it. If you feel your paper looks prettier with method and results, go ahead and do that. If you feel that no, it's taking unnecessary space, I could add more information in my discussion section and remove that, because then results will be in your discussion section. So it's up to you, solely up to you. Nobody can say that a traditional review or literature review without method section is worse or with method section is better. So now, let's say you decide to keep all the sections. What do we expect in each section? Abstract is the summary. Abstract is a summary of your paper. Introduction is what is the research problem? Method is how did you solve this problem? Results is what did you find? And discussion is interpretation and analysis of your findings. And then the conclusion is the lesson learned. Lesson learned. And then the references are the resources, the bibliography, the papers that you have used to write all this information, because you are not writing all this information on your own. You are taking information from other people's papers. So everyone take a screenshot. If you are on your cell phone, take a screenshot so you have this, you know what we discussed today. If you are not on your cell phone, then take notes. Okay, so now how do we remember what each section has? Have you guys watched my video, research article is like a movie? Does anyone remember that video I made a couple of weeks ago on research article is like a movie? So very good, very good video. I'll share that. I would suggest you guys watch it. Let me send it to you guys. Okay. So I'm sending it to you guys so that you guys have it. Okay, so you will understand this philosophy, and I'm going to repeat that again too. Don't worry about it. I'm going to repeat that again. In a much more detail than, of course, this video, but I have sent you the video, guys. I have sent you the video. You guys can watch it on your WhatsApps. So I hope you guys can see it now. Everyone has it now? Or you can, if you don't have it, you can just search this research article is like a movie on YouTube and you will find my video. So that's very important video. And that's my philosophy that actually I started. And nobody else discussed that idea before. I am privileged to be the pioneer of the idea. The research article can be like a movie. And if you follow it, you will really agree with me. Now let me explain how. And the research article becomes so easy. And if you ask our students who have graduated, they will tell you how this philosophy has helped them. This really is like a movie. Research article is not too different. Everyone knows what movies are, right? Everyone knows what movies are. We all have seen movies. You have seen movies. I have seen movies. Nobody can say I never watch movie. Oh, I'm a very studious guy. I just study. I don't do anything. I have never watched a movie. Nobody can say this. Nobody can say this. And nobody should say this. You are human beings. You should enjoy this wonderful piece of art. Like I watched that movie, Back to the Future. I watched all the 4 parts of Indiana Jones. 4. The last one came 2008. I watched all parts of Indiana Jones, and I watched Jurassic Park. I have seen all those movies. I have watched cartoon movies when I was young. I was a kid. I used to watch cartoon movies. So you guys can do that, and it's a normal human phenomena. We all enjoy some time with our family, and we have family get-togethers, weekends, sometimes a monthly movie day with all cousins and friends and family. So that's a normal thing to do. So you all have watched movies. So if you have watched movies, you will understand what a research article is. So now, what is an abstract, guys? This is a summary of the article. So if it's a movie, let's talk about a movie. Tell me a name of a movie. Tell me a name of a famous movie. Can you tell me a name of a famous movie that everyone has watched probably? Anyone type. We'll give an example of the movie and we'll work accordingly. I'm waiting for you guys to type. Oh, Inception. I haven't watched this one. I couldn't understand. I tried to watch it. I tried to watch it. It's Leonardo DiCaprio, right? I tried to watch it, but I couldn't understand what it was. So I got bored. Tell me another one. Tell me another one, because I cannot give an example if I don't know the story. Tell me another name. Anyone? Lord of the Rings. Okay. Lord of the Rings. I can work with that. I can work with that. Spider-Man, Avengers. I'm surprised nobody mentioned Titanic. Nobody mentioned um, Titanic. Lord of the Rings and Spider-Man. Okay, so let's talk about Spider-Man. Let's take Spider-Man today. So Spider-Man, when Spider-Man movie came, when the movie was released, we all saw the advertisement on TV. Remember that? At that time, the Facebook was not there. But the first, when first Spider-Man 2007 one, 2007 Spider-Man, when it came, we did not have Facebook as powerful as we have it today. We did not have YouTube as powerful as it is today. YouTube just started in 2006, and this movie came in 2007. I'm talking about that movie, the 2007 one. So what happened was that Spider-Man movie, when it came, we all saw the advertisement on different TV channels. Remember that? Right now, we see the advertisements on YouTube. We see advertisements on Facebook. But before YouTube and Facebook, if you go a little back, if you remember that time, 15 years back, we used to see the advertisements of the movies on TV. That this movie is about to come very soon in theaters. Join now. Remember that? So same thing is happening nowadays. This movie is coming May 30th, May 31st, all over the country. So what is that thing? That is the trailer of the movie. The trailer of the movie is a 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute highlight of a movie. And when you see that trailer, the prettier the trailer, the powerful, with the music, the tone, and the drums and all those soundtrack, the power of the sound. When you see that trailer, you can tell what kind of movie it is going to be. It is going to be an amazing movie. You will see a lousy trailer of a lousy movie, but you will see a powerful trailer of a powerful movie. And it almost always works like this. So the trailer will give you an idea what to expect in this movie. You will get some idea. Okay, wow, this movie is talking about this topic. Oh, wonderful. Oh, this showed some highlights. Oh, wow, there's a jumping scene out here. Oh, there is a fighting scene, and they showed that in the trailer. I want to see that scene. So we all create our image of the movie by looking at the trailer of the movie. And that trailer is a 30-second to 1 minute advertisement. Sometimes it can go to 2 minutes, but 2 minutes can be a very long trailer. So usually 30 seconds to 1 minute trailer. That trailer is a summary of your paper. That trailer is if your research article is like a movie. Let's say we are talking about Spider-Man. We are writing a paper on Spider-Man, the movie. We're making a movie, Spider-Man. So our abstract will be our trailer. Abstract is the trailer of the movie. So do you think trailer should be made before the movie is completed? Is it logically possible to complete the trailer before the whole movie is completed? Or before at least more than half of the movie is completed? Do you think we can create trailer before the movie is shot? No. So abstract technically comes the first. Just like the trailer, before the movie is initiated, we see the trailer, but this trailer, this abstract, this trailer was actually created in the very end. Then you collected some scenes from some parts of the movie, some scenes from some part of the movie, and then you compile them together and you made a wonderful trailer. The same thing is with the abstract. Abstract is the trailer of the movie. So abstract is the trailer of your paper, if your paper is a movie. Imagine your paper as a movie. So you will show in the abstract, in your trailer, Spider-Man, that there is a, oh, you see that, oh, spider attacked a guy, and now suddenly he sees his hands and everything, and he's becoming spider kind of person. And then you see him jumping, and then they showed some fighting in the end, and then they finish the trailer and this is Spider-Man in the theaters June 1st. That's how the advertisements are, right? So you say, wow, Spider-Man movie is coming. Oh, wow, they showed some animations, they showed wonderful things, and I want to watch this movie. That's what the abstract is all about. So if your abstract cannot attract the reader, nobody will read your paper. If your abstract is not prettier and interesting, nobody will watch your movie. If your trailer is not interesting, if you mention everything, even the end of the movie, let's say in the Spider-Man movie, you remember in the movie, I remember that Peter Parker's friend, his father dies, right? And his father was the main villain too, if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong. So his father dies, right? Now, if I show that in the abstract, if I show that in the trailer, people will say, "Oh, he ruined our movie. Now we know the end. He ruined our movie because we know the end." So you deliberately have to hide some facts about your paper, some findings. You deliberately hide the main findings in the abstract. You just mention few important points, some highlights to make the reader attracted towards your paper, towards your movie. So your trailer will not have the end, and if it does have the end, it will not have the main findings. Because if you're writing informative abstract, you will learn that gradually. If you're writing informative abstract, you may have to mention the results, but how clever you have to be while writing results. You should be very clever about it so that you don't mention all the results in the abstract, because you want people to read your paper. If your abstract forces people to open your whole paper, then you are a successful researcher. You are a successful research writer. If your abstract, after reading paper, your abstract, people say, oh, that abstract is enough for me and I will rely on that, that means you haven't attracted people towards your full paper. If your full paper is not available on PubMed after publishing, then that's a different story. If it's not available on different databases, just the abstract is available, that's fine. But you want people to say this about your paper. Oh, what a wonderful abstract, what a wonderful paper it is. I wish I had this full paper. So how does that happen? Once you complete the whole paper, then you will be able to produce such an abstract. And we'll teach you how to do that. Don't worry about it. And remember, your brainstorming, your mind plays a huge role. Everything what we have today is because of our mind, if you analyze it. The only difference between we human beings and animals is that we have this prefrontal cortex. We have the thinking capacity. They also have brain. But we have the brain that can plan, that can think, that can execute, that can imagine. Use those powers, the cognitive abilities of your brain. Use those abilities, because this is what keeps you separate from animals. I was talking to an animal yesterday. I'm not kidding. I was talking to a person who does not use his cognition. So I was just thinking while talking to that person, what is the difference between this person and an animal? And then I talked to myself, said, I will never be like that. I'll always use my cognition. So we use our cognition. This keeps us apart from human beings and, oh sorry, animals, because we are human beings. Human beings need to learn to think. So you need to learn to think. The more you think, the better paper you produce. The more you think, the better paper you produce. The more you think, the better abstract you produce. And how do you think? You think on paper. Be a human being. Don't be a low dinosaur type of times of people. We are human beings. So that when people with brain talk to you, when residency directors talk to you, they say, wow, he is really a human being. What a mind. You don't want them to say this about you behind your back when you are gone. The guy doesn't have brain. You don't want to do that. So learn to think. And if you learn to think, it will reflect in your personality. It will reflect in the way you talk. It will reflect in the way you walk. It will reflect in the way you write. So learn to think. The more you think, the better your paper will become. The more you think, the better your abstract will become. Thinking is the single most important thing that will give you your residency. Remember, everyone can memorize. Even a parrot can memorize. Chimpanzees can memorize. One day, chimpanzees will be able to take online exams, I'm telling you. That's why they are making usmle harder and harder, so that they can see if you really are a human being. You can think, or you are a primitive animal. If you're a primitive animal, they don't need you. They can hire monkeys. They can hire parrots in the hospital. Do you understand what I'm saying? They want people who know how to think. And your thinking capacity increases with which activity? The single most important academic activity that increases your thinking capacity is a research article. Actually, I would say the single most important academic activity that teaches you to think is the research article. No other academic activity will teach you thinking the way a research article does. So learn to think. Because residency directors are looking for a thinker. Because you will see some challenges in your career, during your residency, during your fellowship. After your fellowship, you will see certain challenges where your memory will not work. Only logic, thought process, planning, imagination will work. If you cannot do that, you are a primitive person, you're a primitive animal, unfortunately. I'm being very harsh, but I hope you're getting my message. This message will change your life. Somebody said that to me. My mentor told that to me so many years ago. 15, 16 years ago. 17 years ago. My mentor said that to me 17 years ago. How much time do you spend thinking? I said, what do you mean? He said, you don't deliberately sit and think? I said, no. He said, what is the difference between you and a gorilla? What is the difference between you and a chimpanzee? The only difference is they don't dress, you dress, right? But if we give them dress, they will be like you. There is no difference. But I said, I can talk. They can't talk. So he said, okay, then what's the difference between you and a parrot? I understood his point. I said, okay, please teach me how to think. He taught me how to think. So I'm teaching you guys how to think by using the same terminologies, by using aggressive terminologies, so that you remember this message for the rest of your life. And then you will discuss after 17 years, and you will be telling your students that your teacher, your mentor taught you how to think by giving the example, a harsh example. Okay, so abstract will become better and better the more you think, and you think on paper. How you think on paper? You think of the points and ideas and you write it down, and write them down, write them down, write them down, write them down. Whatever ideas you can think of, you have your whole paper, you can write down your bullet points and you discuss what should I mention in my abstract. And then another way of planning is you look at other people's abstracts and you see the abstracts published in best papers, best journals, and you look at the style, you look at the vocabulary, you look at the size, you look at the language, you learn from it. You learn from it. So your abstract is the trailer. Spend a lot of time thinking alone where nobody can bother you, and your abstract level will go up and up and up and up. The lesser you think, the lesser will be the level. And by the way, as I said, the lesser you think, the lesser will be your personality for the rest of your life. Learn to think. We are the results of our thoughts up to this point in time. Whatever you have in your life, whatever you have so far in your life is the result of your thoughts in the last 5 years. Combination of last year's thoughts. If you're not happy with your life right now, that means you got to think better. Now, introduction. Introduction is the first few scenes of the movie. Introduction is the first few scenes of the movie. So introduction is the first few scenes that you know what is happening in the movie. Now you know who Peter Parker is. You know who Peter Parker was. You know who Peter Parker is. You know who Peter Parker, what Peter Parker did, where did he study, and now you know his classmates. You know everything about him, right? So introduction gives you an idea what to expect. Now, research article will have a problem. In movies, we don't have actually a problem, but the movie is going in some direction. So you can guess by the introduction that, okay, this is the problem. So here in the problem section, you mention what is the research problem? What are you trying to solve? Because your research article is a solution to a problem. Your research article is a solution to a problem. Like if there is a movie that is giving a solution to a problem, that can be the ideal example of a research article. Now, even in Spider-Man, we can give an example of solution to a problem. The problem is there is an animosity between two friends, and the solution is how to make them better friends again. Just for the sake of discussion, if that is the issue. So you have a problem. You have a problem. You write down your problem in the introduction. If your introduction section does not have your research question or research problem, your paper will be rejected. I saw a couple of papers last week by our students, and there was no problem or research question mentioned in the paper. How can you guys do that? When the introduction is problem, a problem is missing in your paper, that means your paper is incomplete. You cannot write an introduction section without the problem. So please use this. Now, method and results, as I said, are optional in a traditional review, but what actually are method and results? They are the director's comments that how did we make this movie? You have seen those documentaries at the end of every DVD they see, they sometimes have this section, behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. How did they make the movie? How did the producer produce this movie? How did the director direct this movie? What challenges they faced while making this movie? Behind the scenes. Do you remember that? Behind the scenes? That's the method section. That's behind the scene. Behind the scenes is the method section. Now, result. What did you find? Results are also when the director is talking and they're telling you what are the main points of the story, what are the main aspects of the story. So yes, they can mention that. Now discussion is discussion. What is discussion? So first of all, before we jump to discussion, method and results, remember they are in sequence. They are not too different. Here they will tell how did they make the movie, and here they will tell about the main parts of the movie, main features of the movie. But in traditional review, they are optional. Discussion. Discussion, interpretation, and analysis. Interpretation and analysis. So what is the interpretation and analysis? What do your findings mean? So actually, in easy words, let me make things easier for you. Your discussion is the main story. So once you know who Peter Parker was, now the story begins. Now this is the story. In the discussion, you write the whole story. So in your research article, you write your whole story in the discussion. So everything you compiled, all the information, now you write it down as a story in discussion section. And the conclusion is the lesson learned. So if the conclusion is the lesson learned and abstract is the summary, then what is the difference between the two? What is the difference between the two? Conclusion is the last scene of the movie, and abstract is the trailer of the movie. And references are the names of the people who made the movie. Introduction, discussion, conclusion, main parts of the movie. Last part is the last scene of the movie, the lesson learned. What did you learn from the movie? That's the lesson learned, along with the last scene. That's the conclusion. And then the references you see in the end. You see in the end the names of the actors, producers, directors. You see the names when the movie ends. That's the references. Now, one more thing. Acknowledgement section is sometimes there. Anyone who helped you. So the same thing is in the movies too. Acknowledgement section is there. But what about the songs? If it's a Disney movie, songs. Your tables and figures will be your songs. Tables and figures. So bring some tables and figures to make your paper interesting, make it prettier, make it look better. That's how it is done. If you follow this strategy, you keep thinking, you will produce a wonderful paper. So this is the step 2. That you divide the paper into outline. You have your outline ready, but you don't start to work on it. Don't start to work on it because step 3 is also very important. What is step 3? Step 3. Which section do we put tables and graphs and figures? Yes, that's a very important question. Tables and figures mainly go into the results section if it's a systematic review or a literature review with results section. But if you don't have results section, your tables and figures will go into the discussion. Where do the songs come in? In the story. Now, in the Lion King movie, the movie starts with a song. So can the tables and figures be, can the tables and figures be in the introduction section? Absolutely. It's not a custom. It's not very common, but you can do that. You can do that. So tables and figures will go in the discussion section mainly. If you want to add some tables and figures in introduction section, that's very good. That's fine too. Now, how many tables and figures? Minimum 5 tables, sorry, minimum 1 table and 1 figure, maximum 5 tables and 5 figures. So maximum 10 total illustrations and minimum 2 illustrations. So graphs, I would call them as equivalent to figures and diagrams. So you can also bring some diagrams. You don't copy paste anyone's, like taking somebody else's table and figure is like stealing a song from another movie and using it in your movie without permission. So don't ever do that. And don't ever copy paste. Copy pasting is an academic crime. And now again, this tells the reader one thing. If your paper is found to be a plagiarized paper, if your paper has plagiarism, if your paper is found to be plagiarized, your paper has plagiarism, that means you haven't used your mind. You just copy pasted, and you have shown to them that you are a primitive animal. You don't want that reputation. Nobody wants that reputation. I don't want this reputation for any of my students. I don't want anyone to ever say that this person does not use his mind. What is the difference between this person and a primitive animal? So never ever copy paste. Always rewrite and rephrase in your own words. Make sense, guys? Did you guys get offended? Did you guys get offended at the animal example? I'm really sorry. You know, I just wanted to give you the same example as my mentor gave me because that changed my life. Okay, thank you, thank you. And you guys must have also spoken to people who were primitive animals. Sometimes you say, who am I arguing with? Like, let me tell you who I was arguing with. Can you believe that? I had a communication with a person who sent me this message. Okay, let me show you guys. You will say he's right. He's right. I got this message. Latest good news to the world. Russia has done a post-mortem autopsy of the COVID-19 patient. A big revelation has occurred. Russia became the first country in the world to perform an autopsy on a corpse of COVID-19. And after thorough investigation discovered that COVID-19 does not exist as a virus. And I said, wow, this came from a chimpanzee. Somebody who's denying COVID virus. Whole India right now is in serious trouble. People are dying. Now, today's news is Pakistan is also suffering from it. US is under control now. And somebody is telling me with a title doctor that COVID doesn't exist. So now you tell me what would have been my thinking. Then I sent him a message. Then I had to argue that why are you spreading this fake news? Why are you misguiding people? So we see these kind of people. Somebody said that Bill Gates invented the virus so that he can monitor people and bring some 4G, 5G in human body. So those kind of things, when you see that, you can imagine these people don't think. Okay, step 3. What is a step 3? Data sheet. You can call it as my data. I call it my data. You know why? It looks personal. I enjoy it better. I work on my paper better when I call it my data sheet. My data. My data. By the way, another myth I shared on LinkedIn last week. Did anyone see that? I shared that on actually on Facebook too. I shared that somebody is spreading this rumor that doctors in India and Pakistan are being paid to kill patients of COVID-19 by WHO, and that's why if you go to a hospital, you are dead because doctors are being paid to kill the patients. some people literally believe this. Yes, some people literally believe this. Couple of people I personally know, they were reluctant to send their family members to hospitals because they said, doctors are killing people deliberately. I cannot send my parents to a hospital. I had to argue, I had to explain to them, no, it's not true. Please think about it. If this is true, then why doctors are dying? Why doctors are losing their lives? Why they are sacrificing their lives? Thousands of doctors have sacrificed their own lives. And if WHO were paying people and doctors, this news would have been circulated, right? This news from the inside, some doctor would have been a man of values, right? He would have stood up and he would have taken WHO to the court and would have said, they tried to bribe us to kill patients. Common sense. So how is it possible that they are paying and all the doctors agreed and every doctor is getting paid to kill patients? So there is no logic, and this means that people are not using their prefrontal cortex, which is very important. So data sheet, my data, I call it my data. So on your data sheet, you will have your whole plan of paper, not the outline, but the other plan. What is the other plan? Your research question or research problem. And that's with respect to the traditional review, the literature review. Remember that. Second thing you will mention is your keywords, your inclusion exclusion criteria, and you will learn all these things in this course. Remember that. So don't worry about this. What is an inclusion exclusion criteria? All the new admissions would be thinking, what is inclusion exclusion criteria? Research problem, keywords, inclusion exclusion criteria, and the next thing is your articles that you will collect. Also, you can bring databases. Hold on. Databases. What databases you are using? Databases means the websites, simple language. Data, we will teach you from the very basic, guys. Remember, databases are actually the websites. Repeat it after me. Databases are simply websites where we find our papers. That's it. So don't get scared of these terminologies. Oh, what is database? I don't know what is database. Don't worry about it. We'll give you the list of the websites to search data. Those websites are known as databases. Is that clear? What is the most common database? Most common website to collect data? Most common database? Most common website? Anyone can name? Anyone can name? Anyone can name. PubMed, very good. PubMed is the most common database, most common website to collect data for medical students and healthcare professionals. For medical students and healthcare professionals, remember. For non-medical students, for engineers, Web of Science, Scopus. For other professions, Scopus, Web of Science, Google Scholar. But for medicine, PubMed. Actually, to be very honest, PubMed is an interface. It's not even a database. PubMed is an interface. Medline is a database. Interface means it's like a Netflix of papers. Okay, so then you will have your articles that you collected, and you need like 50 articles to 70 articles, maybe 40 to 50 on your topic. You collect them together on this sheet and you will have your data. And now remember, this is your rough sheet. This is your rough sheet. This is your rough sheet. You will not send it to the journal. My article page was the fair page that goes to the journal. You submit it. That's where you're writing. But here you are not writing. Here you are just Here you are just calculating, collecting data, and this will be your main thing. Here you will work around and all the information will be collected here, and from here all the information will go to my article page. Very good, everyone. Very good. Hira, Roa, Rose, Ketan, Arti, Nitin. Thank you, guys. I want to make sure I mention everyone's name. I don't want anyone to get upset that he did not mention my name. Olive, Jasmine, Bhavna. These are the 3 steps. Now the last step, step 4. My favorite step. Step 4. Hold on. A little down so everyone can see what I'm talking about. Step 4. Does it look like 4? Step 4. What is step 4? What is step 4? Topic selection. Topic selection. I'll give you some hints on topic selection. You will learn more about topic selection and on your account on the website. Lesson number 28. Watch lesson 28, lesson 136, lesson 137, lesson 144, and lesson 148. If you do that, you will be invincible in topic selection and data collection for traditional review. I have discussed that in deep detail out there. Does this mean that references section will need 50 to 70? Yes, this is exactly, Olive. This is what we are saying. Some journals have a limit of 50 references. Some journals have a limit of 75 references, like New England Journal. Some journals have a limit of 100 references. So there is no actual limit. That's why I'm asking you to keep it around 50. For the channel that we have, the journal required 50. Now they have removed that restriction of 50. Now you can go more than that. Now they don't have any limit. Nitin? No, they don't have any limit now. They used to have 50. That's what I'm talking about. But now they have removed that limit. So on our website, on the account, if you are an enrolled student, you will have an account. You will have an account on the website. You click on the profile button on the top right corner. Once you click on the profile button, it takes you to the dashboard. You are on your dashboard and you will see the lecture lessons, the videos, 170 plus videos, are wonderful videos, 170 plus videos. And there are some important videos on topic selection, lesson 28, lesson 144, 148. And this is for data collection. So topic selection. So what do we do for topic selection? Guys, remember, topic selection is easy if you understand the philosophy of passion. Make sure you select a topic that you are passionate about. Some people just choose medicine field because of their parents, because of their relatives, because of impressing other people, but they don't follow their passion. If you are among those people, then change your profession right now. You are going to destroy your life. You have no idea how beautiful this life is if you are living the life of your passion. Ask me. I am living the life of my passion. I can teach nonstop 24 hours. I can teach nonstop 24 hours. If somebody gives me a challenge to teach 24 hours nonstop, just gives me a glass of water and one coffee, I'm all set for 24 hours. I can teach and teach and teach, and I will not be stopped. The reason is I am born to teach. I'm born to counsel. I'm born to speak. That's my passion. I'm passionate about teaching. I am passionate for teaching. I'm made to teach. I was born to teach. And even then I have sub passion that I'm born to teach certain things like human behavior, like psychology, personal development. I'm born to do that. I cannot get tired if I'm talking on that topic. I can talk all day long on topic of success. I'm crazy about it. You will get tired, everyone will get tired, but I'll not get tired and I'll still be speaking. I can do that 24-hour seminar. Probably some breaks in between, and then I'll sleep 24 hours. If you give me a coffee and if you allow me to stand up. Because if I sit, I'll sleep. After 12, 15 hours. Human being, right? Okay, so passion. What is the passion? Passion is something that you would like to do even if you are not getting paid. This is the best definition I could find so far. Like if somebody does not pay me to teach, like for example, we have mentors who teach you. If I don't teach you, you guys still will complete the training. I'm not supposed to teach, but I cannot not teach because I love teaching. You will always see me teaching. You will always see me in the videos. I will be producing videos, YouTube videos, these videos, live sessions, Zoom sessions. Why? Because I cannot not do it. Second point. So something you are not getting paid, but you still want to do. Whenever I get an opportunity to speak, I go and speak. For my TED Talks, I did not get paid. If I get an opportunity to deliver a lecture, to deliver a talk, I don't get paid. I was a master of ceremony for a ceremony a few years back in a fundraiser. And I did not get paid. So many times. So many people invited me to give talks, so many nonprofit organizations. I go there with energy, with passion, with excitement. When I'm on the way to that place, I'm so excited. I'm so happy that today I'm talking. I don't care about money because it gives me so much of happiness that if I don't do it and somebody sends me money, I'll never be happy. You guys need to find that one thing in your career that gives you this much of passion, this much of excitement, that even if you're not getting paid, you will be willing to do that. How many of you are willing to practice medicine even if you're not getting paid? How many of you are willing to see your patients every day for the rest of your life, even if you don't get paid? And let's say you, at the night time, to take care of money, you have to do another job, but in the daytime, you have to go to a hospital for free. How many of you will do it for free? You do it for free. Think about it. Now I've given you something to think. Think about it. Like, for example, psychology, psychiatry, neuroscience, counseling. This is my field. I can do unpaid. And I have been doing volunteering for this so long, for so long. Because I cannot not do it. Even if I don't get paid. Remember, the nature will compensate you. You have to believe in spirituality a little bit. You have to believe in miracles. You have to believe in these things. If you don't believe in miracles, miracles will not happen. If you believe in miracles, miracles will happen. I learned this lesson, and that is so true. So passion, not getting paid. So even if you're not getting paid, you are willing to do that. Is there any specialty of medicine? Anyone who loves neurology this much, who loves dermatology this much, that even if you're not getting paid, you will do that? Then you should choose that topic for your research article. Is there any field that you cannot not read about it? Let's say you find an article, you find a documentary about the topic, and you immediately play it, and you cannot not watch it. You just want to watch it. You want to do it all day long. And rather than making you tired, it makes you energetic. Have you found something? If you have found a field that gives you energy rather than making you tired, that's your passion. That's why I said I can teach 24 hours, because it gives me energy. It gives me energy, non-stop energy. It gives you energy rather than making you tired. Now, if you find your passion, you know what will happen? The 9 to 5 job for you will be like playing a video game. But if you choose profession just because of your parents or just because of money, just to get salary, you will get tired at the time when you come back home. I have seen some residents talking like this. Oh, tomorrow we have to go back again to the hospital. Oh, 6 a.m. in the morning, I have to go back again. And I was like, where is the passion? A person who loves this field cannot say that. You should be like this. Yes, tomorrow I have to do it again. Tomorrow I have to do it again. Tomorrow I have to do it again. I have to do it again tomorrow. Yes, I cannot wait to get there. That's called passion. And then you still are passionate. Even at the end of the day, you still are working extra and other people have left and you are still engaged in your work. And now you go back home just because everyone else has gone home. And you say, oh, the day is over. I was having so much of fun. Did you ever think of this life? Work does not become work anymore. Work becomes a sports, a game, a video game. Somebody mentioned the name of a very famous movie, very famous even in the US. People watch it with subtitles. It's an Indian movie, Three Idiots. Very, very powerful movie. The movie talked about this philosophy. So this one person, he was passionate. That's why he was he was not studying. He was not studying at all, but he was number one. Every time the exam results came out, he was number one. Anyone remembers the movie what I'm talking about? So in that movie, what have they shown? What have they shown? They have shown that if you choose your profession because you love it, you automatically learn. Other people will be working hard, but you will be enjoying. You automatically know more about it than others. Automatically. So this guy in the movie, he knew about the machines automatically. His friends, they were wasting time with him. They thought, oh, we are just like him, we can do it. No, they could not do it because they were not passionate about it. He was passionate about it. That's why. He was passionate about it, so he knew about the machines automatically. He knew about the subject automatically without reading, and the dean and the teachers are thinking this guy is not going to do anything, he's not studying. He didn't need to study because he knew it automatically. He doesn't know how he learned it. Same thing with me, guys. In my career, when it came to subjects like psychology, neuroscience, psychiatry, human behavior, counseling, I knew more than everyone else. And if you ask me, where did you read all those? I cannot tell you the names at that time. Now I have the list of the books, but at that time, I could not tell you the sources. Some information I gathered from the TV, some information I gathered from the newspaper, some information I got it from a blog, some information I got it from internet, some information I got it from friends, some information I got it from teachers. So that's how Collectively, whenever anyone was talking about the subject of human behavior, my mind used to go over there in that direction. So subconsciously, I was absorbing more and more. So you will not see me learning anything or reading any book on psychology, but my knowledge was way more than anyone else in that field during in my class. Probably more than the teachers, just in that one field. I was a zero in cardiology, very bad. Even today, I hate, I never like cardiology. Okay, so automatically I was good at this subject. I'm crazy about it. So if you ask me how do you know that, I don't know. Like some people, they never took music classes, but they are such great singers. Some people right from your in your classroom since your childhood, you have seen people who were great singers, wonderful singers, never took a class. How did they become great singers? Natural talent. They were passionate about it, and luckily they had talent in that too. So I was automatically good at it in terms of knowledge, but also talented about that field. So you want to make sure you have the talent. That means you do it good. You do it good. And you do it better than others. And you know more than others. Automatically. You don't remember how. Although this was not an automatic process, it started since you were born because nature wanted to use you for that profession. That's why. Like I know a guy who was studying criminal justice, criminology or something. He was doing masters in that, but he was expert in airplanes. He used to ask me, uh, give me a challenge. Tell me the name of an airplane. I'll draw that airplane. F-16, F-14. I don't know what different kinds of airplanes are there. The fighter jet planes. So he used to draw that with his hand and a pen without leaving a single part undone. He will draw it in 20 minutes and he will say, okay, find a fault. Now search on Google and tell me if I have missed any part. So he was passionate about airplanes and nautical engineering, or airplane designing, you can say probably. But that was amazing. That was something miraculous. I've never seen that kind of talent in anyone before. So I'm just letting you know because it just occurred to me while discussing. So if your field is neurology, you should be this in neurology, that you cannot not read about it. You will be able to see the patients even if you're not getting paid. Neurology, the word neurology itself gives you energy rather than getting you tired. You know, if you talk about nephrology and cardiology to me, I get tired just by listening to the word. Can we get a template for data sheet? Oh, it's so easy. Yeah, I will send it to you. Or you can just draw it exactly as I mentioned here on your Word document. It's not a big deal. So easy. But when I conduct a class and I'll make a data sheet, I'll send it to you. Okay, something you know automatically, you don't know how to do, how you learned it. It gives you more energy. You are naturally better at it. You're naturally good at it than others. You naturally know more than others about this subject, and you forget about time and space. When you are discussing that subject and when you're talking about that subject, when you're thinking about that subject, when you are reading about that subject, when you are watching a documentary about that subject, you are lost. You don't know where the time went, where you are. You are just focused deeply into it. When I was studying or watching a documentary on DID, dissociative identity disorder, major depression, schizophrenia, I used to go out of time and space. Literally, I didn't know what is happening around me. I was so much into it. So this should be your topic for your research paper, your broad topic, and then you narrow it down. Like for example, I'm passionate for human brain. So neurology, psychiatry, neuroscience, and psychology all come into one brain. So now I have four options. I am equally passionate about all of these. Now I need to think which of these topic should I choose? Okay, I choose neurology. In neurology, what? Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington disease, Guillain-Barré syndrome. I would say Parkinson's. I like Parkinson's the most. If I am given a chance to read about topics in neurology, I would read again and again about Parkinson's. So Parkinson's is my main broad topic. Now, once I have broad topic, I narrow it down by combining it with something else. Combine Parkinson with another disease of another specialty, or a disease of the same specialty. Alzheimer's and Parkinson's together. A disease and a drug. A disease and a medication. A disease and an antibody. A disease and a bacteria. A disease and an organism. A disease and a sign. A disease and a symptom. A disease and a cell. A disease and cytokines, a disease and a diagnostic tool, a disease and what else? What else can we say? Body part, a disease and a body part. Parkinson and heart. Patients of Parkinson with heart diseases, how they are connected together. Now remember, you found your passion and you combine two things together. You found your passion, you combine two things together, but you focus on a how and a why. You focus on a how and a why. You don't focus on a what and how much and how many people of Parkinson's disease are affected with heart disease. Nobody would like this topic. Journals will not like this topic. You want to make sure journals are attracted and general population is attracted. So focus on how Parkinson's and heart disease are associated. Heart and Parkinson. Let me make it clean. Hold on. And that's the last topic for today. I'll let you guys go in a few minutes. Parkinson's patients with heart diseases. Let's say I'm focusing on this and I'm writing a paper. Let's focus on this, that let's say Parkinson's and heart disease. I'm writing a paper on this. I can either focus on one heart disease, cardiomyopathy, or I can focus on all heart diseases and Parkinson's patients. And I will focus on how it is connected, how it happens, pathophysiology, and why it happens. So how and a why. Pathophysiology. So if you write a paper related to pathophysiology and mechanism, how these two things are connected and why they are connected, then your paper will be a wonderful paper and journals will love to publish it. Readers will love to read it. Remember, the journals are looking for papers that will get more citations, that will get more reads, that will become more popular so that more people visit their journal website. So it's all business. So you want to give them something that will give them business, that will bring more readers, more viewers to their website. How and why brings people to the website. When you combine two things together, you combine how and why as a question, how they are connected. But if you say what percentage or how many people are affected with Parkinson's disease who have heart diseases, nobody will like this paper. Do you like reading this kind of paper? Percentage of population affected by Parkinson's disease with heart disease. Or you would like to read this kind of paper. What is the mechanism associated with Parkinson's disease that leads to heart diseases? Of course, the second one. So focus on this why and how. Journals will like it. They will be attracted and they will get more citations. So when they will see that the paper is focused on how and a why, they will get more citations, so they will accept your paper faster and easier. Remember, not all journals will accept it. That's also true. So don't get offended. Some journals, they don't like your topic or they feel that, no, we just had a similar paper, we don't want to publish it, or they run out of space for their current edition. So never get personal that, oh, my paper is rejected, my paper was bad. No, your paper was not bad. The journal was not a good fit for you. That's it. Just go to another journal. So that's how it is done. These are the 4 steps of paper writing, and we discussed the 4 steps. Step 1 was, what are you doing, why are you doing, for whom are you doing it, how you're going to do it. Then step 2 was the outline of your paper. You completed your outline in an IMRAD format. IMRAD, I for introduction, M for method, R for results, A is nothing, A is just and D for discussion. And then your step 3 was the data sheet. Your data sheet will have all the things that you will do your plan, from your research problem, research question, your keywords, your databases, your inclusion exclusion criteria, and your articles that you will collect. And then step 4 is the topic selection. Once you are done with this, you are all set to work on your paper and enjoy and become published author. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. Now, anyone has any questions for me? Today was a long session, but I feel you guys enjoyed it, because I enjoyed it and I had a lot of fun today. Anyone else has any question? Before I leave, anyone has any questions left? So I think nobody has any questions. Homework, sir? Not right now, because I would suggest just one homework is select a topic of the specialty of your own choice that you're more passionate about. But your actual classes will begin this weekend, and then you decide your actual homework begins. Then your actual homework begins. This is just my live sessions, but your live classes with your mentors, that is the one that you will follow the homework with. For all the enrolled students, wait for the weekend. Okay, everyone. Anyone else has any questions? Sir, I'm from management background. I just want to start research. Can I get help on this channel? Okay, absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. And you have my number. Just contact me if you have any question. And officially, if you want to enroll into the training so that you can have the weekly classes and you get the access to the course material so that you officially learn everything. Okay. So now, Jasmine, thank you. Thanks a lot. And everyone has learned today, and they enjoyed as well. We like the examples of the movies, right? So I think everyone enjoyed the conversation of the movie example and all the wonderful conversations we had, all the funny conversation we had. So if anyone has any question left, then please comment here. And if there is no question right now and later on you think of a question, then send me a message on my WhatsApp. You all have my WhatsApp number. And for all the enrolled students, if you want to schedule a phone call with me, do it. But just start working on your paper, because if you don't take an action, nobody can help you. You have to take an action. We can just give you so much of information, but if you don't take action, nobody can help you. It's like you join a gym and you have a trainer, but if you are not listening to the trainer, you cannot lose your weight that you're looking for. Same thing with anything in this world. If you listen to us, you will become a published author. If you don't listen to us, you will not become a published author. If you take absolute responsibility, 100% responsibility of your paper, you will publish your paper. If you don't take responsibility, you will make excuses and you will not be a published author. So take absolute responsibility. And thank you, Suchitra. Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Olive, Jasmine, Rua, Ketan. Thanks a lot, Gokul, Hira, Arti, Nitin. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. We'll see you again. And I'll announce another session very soon, and we will meet again. And for your weekly classes, stay tuned and join your weekend classes. We'll send you the message and details on the WhatsApp groups. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. See you in the next class, in the next session very soon. Thank you.